Hi, this is a video for the Milestone 1. My name is Kunal, and I'll be going over the work that I've done for this first milestone at a high level, and also just introducing the topic as a whole that I'm working on. So, my topic is related to conversational assistants. In the past decade, we've seen assistants such as Siri or Alexa become very much mainstream. We see a lot of industry application, and also on the academic side, we see a lot of research papers that have come out in the last few years experimenting and enhancing chatbots. So the objective is to create a course for individuals that are either undergraduate or graduate students, or folks that are trying to learn about chatbots and move into the machine learning or natural language processing domain. And the course is meant to be a bit both on theory as well as on code application itself. It uses an application called MindMeld, and we use that because it's a pretty powerful open source tool, but it's also a lot easier to understand and use, and it also doesn't have paid usage programs or the requirement of having to set up offsite data storage. So the objective of the course is to ensure that the students have a working understanding of the different types of chatbots and the advantages, disadvantages for each. They understand the high-level architecture of a conversational application using MindMeld to build the example, and know how the different components work together to manage a dialogue and achieve a goal. Three, have experience coding out a chatbot end-to-end in Python from ideation to conversation. Four, understand the text processing pipeline, the data creation process, entity recognition, dialogue management, knowledge base use, and model evaluation process. So a pretty end-to-end look at the entire development of chatbots end-to-end. So for this first milestone, I built out the first three sections, and I'll go over what they kind of cover in this video. So section 1 is the introduction to conversational agents. It looks at a brief history. We compare and contrast rule-based and sequence-based approaches, and then we look at the trends in academia. Then we introduce MindMeld as a whole. We go over what the course objectives are in sections. And then in section 2, we look at the domain, intent, entity, and role hierarchy systems. And we kind of explain the differences between all of that, how a query is classified between domain and intent, as well as how role is, what that means and how it's classified as well. We talk about the difference between system and custom entities, then give a brief walkthrough on what the domain intent hierarchy looks like when actually creating the app. And then section 3 looks at dialog managers and dialog state handlers. This actually handles the logic of the application, and we look at a lot of code and do walkthrough of some intense handling, such as greeting or getting store hours, and just explain how the responder and request frames are being used to handle and manipulate information and give the reply back to the user. So here's a brief scan of some of the slides that have been set up here. So this is history, types, some review of the academia, course objectives, modules, introduction to MindMeld. Again, we have stuff here where we go over the module, the domain intent hierarchy. So we start with word vectors, understanding those, the representations, knowing what neural networks are at a high level, then looking at the domain intent classification, the entity and role classification, as well as system versus custom entities, and putting those together. Then in module 3, we take a look at dialog state handlers and how the application tracking is done. Ultimately, this results in a set of videos, which is the following, and I'll be uploading these to YouTube as a playlist. Eventually, I'll put them on something like edX, but this is for the milestone now.